All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Road America. This is the GV8 broadcast from Gross MTV. I'm JD Smith up in the booth. Alongside me this afternoon is Kane Kraft. We have a 76-degree day with clear skies. Wind will be blowing at 9 miles per hour from the south. Kane, I'm ready for some GV8 action. We are 1 week removed from the mountain at Bathurst, and what a race it was. How are you doing here today here in Wisconsin?
I'm doing good. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties, and as we wait for everything to come together, let's talk about this track we're at tonight, Road America. 4 miles. That's almost as long as Bathurst.
In fact, it is almost identical, Kane. It is almost identical in length, but it doesn't have quite as many turns as Bathurst, and it definitely doesn't have the elevation change that we saw last week. But in return, we do get some crazy turns like the famous carousel here at Road Atlanta between turns 9 and 10. You see it right there on the display on the screen, and that is a tough, tough turn to take. If you don't take it just right, you can lose tons of time on a lap here, Kane.
Yeah, the guys have been practicing really hard this week. Uh, I seen a few guys practicing for hours on the track over the weekend, so I'm expecting a really good race here tonight.
I'm expecting a great race as well. You know, we saw Martin Carroll take Bathurst last week, and he's such a new driver here in the GV8. He's taking it by storm, and it's really going to be fun to see if he can back up his Bathurst win with another win here at Road America. We've also got other things in the storylines as well. Greg Carr has been dying to get back in victory lane, and I know he's been practicing real hard to get back in victory lane here for this weekend. He's actually news was up first that he was leaving Can-Am Motorsports, but it turns out he is not. That was just a false there. So he is still currently with Can-Am Motorsports, at least through the remainder of the season, Kane.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Some goofiness, rumors, or whatever that happened there, but that's good. I'm glad to see he's still with Can-Am. Can-Am is a good group of guys, and at least many of them are. And I know that there has been a little bit of drama there in the last week or two. But
Yeah,
I'm glad to see that he's sticking around there.
I am too glad he's sticking it out at least to the end of the season until we can find out, at least finish what you started in the season. I know I'm pretty sure that Greg would like to start his own team, as I would like to see him start his own team. I think it could be real beneficial to him and, of course, anybody else that would join that team. Other things we have going around the track area is Nigel Baines is trying to get back in victory lane as well, Kane. We've seen some great racing from Nigel lately, but we've also seen a few tiny mistakes that have gotten him into some trouble. So I know he's dying to get back in victory lane as well.
Yeah, look forward to racing with these guys. We'll see how this goes.
Anyways, I think we're going to be... Kane, you still there with me, my friend?
I am here.
All right.
I am still having the technical difficulties. The sim software is not letting anybody connect right now, so as we wait for that to connect, last week we had a big race at Bathurst. Let's kind of recap on that. We had 31 laps at Mount Panorama. Martin Carroll claimed victory and 300-point haul at the first ever 31 laps of Bathurst race at the tricky Mount Panorama circuit. After claiming pole position, he managed to keep it out of the walls and drove a flawless race to victory. Drove a flawless race to finish ahead of the fast-charging Farouk Manzar, who came clear from the back of the pack to finish second. Greg Carr rounded out the podium in third, with strong performances by Glenn Sidman and Mauro Gerard in 4th and 5th places.
In just 1 second, I do want to make a statement. I really want to give Farouk Manzar the credit he deserves. For those that were able to see us at the mountain last week, saw the incredible fate that happened with Farouk Manzar. Obviously, we haven't seen anything from Farouk since Season 1 of the GV8, but here in Season 2, he decided to come back at the mountain cane, and he literally charged from the back of the field for a second place finish. It was just an unbelievable run in the 58 Modern Woodman Ford Falcon. It was really good to see that car back on the track. And I actually had a chance a little earlier this week, Kane, to do a little practice session with some of the guys here in the GV8, and guess who decided to stop in for a little surprise visit? None other than Farouk Manzar. I got a chance to talk to Farouk, and it looks like he's not able to make the race tonight, unfortunately, but it looks like we will get to see Farouk again before the end of the season, hopefully. And also, it looks like he's trying his hardest to be able to make a permanent return to the GV8 in Season 3. I do want to give Farouk Manzar
Well, that's good.
big applaud. He
Farouk
killed this,
definitely is a
50
nice
time
addition
between the two
to
drivers
the
up to 15.3
to the league, and
seconds
it's
as
always
he started
a great
this
race
lap.
whenever he's there. That was
So he
definitely
has
a
been
big
inching his
feat
way
coming
towards
from
it. He just doesn't
all the
have
way to the
enough
back to the
action.
pack and finishing second like he did.
Way to go, Farouk.
And
Yeah, what a remarkable.
then a great job from Martin Carroll, you know, starting on the pole and holding that position clear through the entire 31 laps. Over an hour and a half of racing.
Yeah, Martin Carroll did what we call putting on a clinic, folks. He literally took off from the pole position, did just an unbelievable lap in the shootout for Bathurst, and once he got things going, he never looked back. He started in first place, and Kane, he just took off and never looked back. He literally put down about as good as a performance as one can have in 31 laps at Bathurst, and he is well deserving of the crown indeed. He is the king of the mountain, and he deserves to be. You know, we did the race picks prior to last week's race, and it is funny. He gave us a hard time because neither of us three that picked him. But I did give him honorable mention, and after that, so it did pay off for him as he went on to win the race, and very proud of him as he is new to the league. We welcome him with open arms and glad that he's here. But looking at how things happened at Bathurst, I was very impressed. If you remember back when the GTCC visited the mountain, things were really nasty, Kane. It was a wreck fest, unfortunately for those guys. And I was very proud of the way the racing was at Bathurst in these V8 supercars. They just put on one heck of a show for us, and it was truly enjoying to watch. I'm very, very proud that we got to see it firsthand, and I think it was very, very successful for our very first 31 laps at Bathurst.
Yeah, we had a couple cars go off the track and a couple wrecked. I know great cars off the track, but it's getting interesting.
Avery is actually down on the track right now. Avery, can you hear us?
I got you, buddy.
Okay, we are currently not able, we're having some technical difficulties and not able to get into the session. So we don't know what's going on inside the race right now. Maybe you could tell us a little bit of what's going on.
Well, I know for great car, had to go through the pits. Jim Egan went through the pits. I know Kyle Heron took a spin coming out of 2. We had a pile up into 4, I think it is. But I'm running strong. I'm probably in like 12th position, but it's been a pretty good race so far. I mean, for my side, I got a little swirly going down the hill, but going pretty good. We'll see what place I'll be. Oh, I'm in 12th place right now, so.
Well, how far into the race are you? What lap are you?
We just got on the lap 3, and Nigel Baines is the leader.
Okay, guys, you hear it right there. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you a little bit later. That's Avery Bradley for the first time this season.
Avery
down
Bradley.
on the track. I mean, Avery McDonald. Why do I always say that?
I know, Coach.
Avery McDonald down on the track, and
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, Avery. Well, Kane, we do know that Nigel Baines is in the lead right now. Unfortunately, as we're working on these difficulties, we'll bring you to the track as soon as we're able to get a live feed, and we'll have you live from Road America. But going back to last week, Kane, it really was a fantastic show put on by these guys, and definitely we saw some improvement from some of the other drivers as well. That normally we got to see pretty good runs out of guys like Kyle Herron coming back. I think.
Alright, I'm able to connect now, so we're going to be getting some images pretty soon.
And that is wonderful news. Sorry guys, my mic got cut off for a second there. I apologize, but we are back, and looks like good news. Looks like we're going to be able to connect to the sim, as Kane just said. So really looking forward to having those images brought to us live from Road America. Yeah, it's real unfortunate, Kane, that we've had this problem tonight. I don't know. Me and Kane both had the same issues. Luckily, it seems that all the drivers were able to get into the series okay tonight. But we're having an issue here.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be long now, and we'll get some footage.
And that's really, really exciting news. From what we heard from Avery McDonald, is he decided, instead of being up in the booth, that he decided he'd really like to start racing in this series. And I, for one, know how that is. I mean, you love racing, Kane, and we sit up here and we get to talk about it and watch it, but you get the itch to get down there and drive those things, and that's exactly what Avery decided to do tonight, and I think that's where he's going to be for the remainder of the season, and I think it's good for him. I think he'll really enjoy running down there, and now we got us an announcer down in the cars. All right, well, I have a feed here, Kane. I can see on. I'm not completely live, but I have some images right now, guys. We're looking at the screen, and we are about to have this perfect rescue race here at Road America. This is week number 7 of the GV8 here at Cross-Sim, guys. We are really happy to bring you this action right now, bringing you up to date on the track. Look at Mario Girard there in the 4th position. Right in front of him in 3rd is Glenn Sidman. So good job by both of those guys. I'm proud to see them running up near the front. We heard from Avery earlier that Greg Carr had an issue earlier. I see him in the 14th position right now. And I'm going to go ahead and do a rundown since we're just joining everybody to kind of catch us up to where we're at. Right now in first place is the number 36 Spotty Dog Cakes Ford Falcon and Nigel Baines, with Martin Carroll, the winner of Bathurst, in 2nd. Jason Fox, the newcomer, in 3rd is what it says on here. Glenn Sidman in 4th, Mario Girard in 5th, Rod Denyer in 6th with Nils Jordan in 7th. Jason Lundy currently in 8th with Chris Hogan in 9th. Daniil Menenkoff in 10th with Peter Hebron in 11th. Kyle Herron in 12th, 13th, Avery McDonald, and 14th is Greg Carr with Mark Myers in 15th. Jim Egan in 16th, and 17th, cleaning up the field, is Tony Klusterman. And Kane, I want to say one thing about Tony Klusterman. Right now he's got a special tribute number tonight, and that number is the 121 number, and it's going out to his Never Quit Racing scheme. That's actually the number he ran when he was when he ran on a co-team with his son, and he's decided to run that, and he wanted to make sure that we definitely gave a nice shout out to Chris Hogan, who was able to get that paint scheme together for Tony tonight. And he really did a good job. He literally put that together minutes before the race tonight, guys. So it looks fantastic, Tony. I'm glad to see you in the new paint there, Kane.
Yeah, Tony left Red Bull Racing there and left his sponsor Red Bull after a long time driving that car to go back to his old team and never quit that he's drove for in real life, and that is an exact replica of his real race car, so that is pretty awesome.
It really is. That is just too cool, man. And I love to see it here on the track. Right now, as I'm looking on, Kane, I'm seeing Nigel Baines holding off Martin Carroll there in the second position. I know Nigel Baines is happy to be out in front. He really has been itching to get back into the victory lane. I saw him, me and you both saw him Friday in the V8 Supercars Americas race at this track a little earlier this week, and he had a very, very unfortunate, bad, terrible accident. And he was currently, at that time, he was in fourth or fifth, Kane, I can't remember. But I know he was in the top 5 fighting off a pack of guys and just got wrapped up in a terrible accident. So good to see him back on the track and up in the first position.
Yeah,
it's good to not be last.
He is doing a good job, running nice and smooth, and staying in front of Martin there is putting the pressure on him. Pretty serious pressure anytime you got Martin in your rear.
Number 16, Rod Denyer, is in the pits at the moment.
Yeah,
Just towed to the pits.
Yeah, thanks, Avery. We got the broadcast going now, sir.
Just pulled out. Oh my goodness.
But anyways, getting back to the race, look at Chris Hogan right now, currently in the 8th position. He's got a nice sized lead over the 9th place of Daniil Menenkoff, a little over a 9-second gap there. Looking on right now, you see Avery McDonald in 14th with Mark Myers in 15th. There's a 22.5-second gap there. Greg Carr, who had an unfortunate go at it earlier, is currently in 12th. And I'd like to find out what exactly happened to Greg Carr, as normally he's up running in the first 3 positions, battling for a podium. So really curious to see what happened there, Kane.
Yeah, I wish we could have got connected to see what happened there. It really just throws the whole broadcast off when something like that happens. Just trying to play catch up for the rest of the broadcast and figure out who's where.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. But you know what? I am enjoying and glad that we did at least get to make it on here. It could have been worse. Right now, I'm seeing Nils Jordan head down pit road, Kane.
Yeah, I seen that Nils Jordan had to go into pit road. I don't know what caused the need to go down there. Maybe he got off track and scraped a wall or something.
And you never know what could happen. Look at Mario Girard passing Glenn Sidman there a little minute ago and got up into the 3rd position. Real proud of that Road Shark racing. He really has turned things around, Kane, after that Bathurst. I mean, Bathurst really was the turning point for him.
A couple guys are making pit stops at the moment. Kyle Heron, I know, and Nils Jordan made a pit stop.
And I'm just really proud of how Mario Girard has turned his season around. I mean, you remember a lot earlier in the season, Kane, when Mario Girard just seemed like every time he got in the race car, something was going wrong and causing him to get in some sort of an accident, whether it was against his fault or not. It just seemed like the luck fell on the wrong side of the deal for him, and really seen that luck turn around here since Bathurst.
Yeah, I'm glad to see his luck's turned around. He's definitely a skilled driver, and he deserves to be running up to the front of the field. But what can you do when that bad luck bites and little things just keep happening that send you to the back? He's fought through it though, and
Leader
now
pitting.
he's back through it. And a little off track there. Probably a little bit of the commentator curse.
Yeah, that is a little bit of the commentator curse. You know, sometimes, you know, we can, as soon as we talk about him, it seems like there's something like right now, he'll get off the road and lose the position. So we need to leave Mario Girard alone there, Kane.
Well, let's hope he can catch back up to Glenn Sidman and put on a good race there.
I'm sure he'll be just fine, and he'll be able to get back up there just fine. That was just a minor offset there. You see him, they just went through turn one.
And seen another car back there in the pits also. They must be going ahead and pitting on this one.
I know Kyle Heron made a pit stop.
A pit must be required tonight.
Oh yeah, pit's required. Well, no pit. From what I heard, no pit's required. But you make it. You get about 12 laps of fuel and tank, so we're kind of forced to pit. But
now that's an interesting thing, JD, because we've watched several of these 15-lap races on Road America this weekend, and most chose to save rather than pit. And in this one, it's looking like most are choosing to pit rather than fuel save.
Yeah, it's totally different strategy from what we've seen, so it's going to be really cool to see how things differ from what we've seen earlier this week. For those of you that would like to see a broadcast from earlier this week, you feel free to check it out on Twitch. It's on the same channel and it's on YouTube. But you'll see what we're talking about. It's really, really cool to see the different, I guess they tried one earlier, and if they didn't like the way the result was, they're trying a different strategy today, and hopefully it'll differ. We did see Nigel Baines running in the first position, then he went and decided to get into the pits, Kane, and so that's going to be real fun to see where he ends up after being able to go to a different pit strategy from what he used Friday in this same track. So that's going to be really fun to see.
Yeah, well, we never did get to see what his strategy was going to be on Friday, because that accident happened about halfway through. So I am curious on this new strategy, because we hadn't seen, I don't think anybody pitted on Friday's race, and most everybody's pitting today. So must have been some new information developed over the weekend.
Yeah, it had to be something going on there, because it's definitely changed, Kane. It has definitely changed since then.
On screen, we've got Jason Fox, a newcomer to the league. Had an extraordinarily good race at Bathurst last week. He was one of only 3 cars that finished the race without a single incident.
And that in itself is just one heck of a task to do. That's almost impossible, King. Anytime you're going 31 laps around Bathurst and you don't have a single incident. And for those that aren't real familiar with iRacing Simulator and how it works, an incident doesn't necessarily mean a wreck. An incident is anytime you come in contact with the wall. I mean, you get a tire off track, or you know, the littlest of things that can cause any kind of slip up is counted as an incident. So imagine that, having to go around Mount Panorama 31 laps and not a single incident. That is some mighty.
That's a 4-mile racetrack
right there. That is just extremely well of a driver to control that supercar that well.
Martin Carroll entering the pits. Peter Herbron just exited.
Back in 6th place, we've got a heck of a battle where Greg Carr has made his way up to 6th place now. and is challenging Daniil. He's made his way up to 7th and is challenging Daniil for 6th place. That's going to be a pretty good battle as Daniil is no slouch. He's got pretty good pace.
Yeah, he's got real good pace, but Greg Carr, we know what he can do, and he is right on the bumper of Daniil Menenkoff, waiting to make his move. But Daniil doing a really good job. Can it happen? No, it's not going to happen anytime soon.
Also a newcomer to the league, so we don't really know how he does under pressure. We're getting to see a little bit of that with Greg Carr on his bumper. That might have been a good choice to pit now and not have to deal with that pressure and risk maybe having an accident.
You know, that's a very, very good thing right now. Daniil's, he's gonna, because I mean, when somebody's on your bumper like that, you get on the brakes a little too hard, or the person behind you slips up. You can get really nervous when somebody's behind you, and you're not quite sure if they're gonna brake as fast as you. When they get into your bumper, it's all over. I mean, it's just like that. It's over.
Yeah, fortunately for me, the only time I was close to anybody was on the beginning of the race as I spin out right there.
Avery McDonald sounds like had a little bit of trouble off the start. Was it just you who had some trouble, or?
Oh no, I just kind of slowed up a little bit. There's a pile up a little bit in one of the corners. I'm not sure which one it was because it was a while ago, but made a couple guys pit. And Fox entering the pits right now. But there are about 3 drivers that had a pit for damage. Greg Carr, I believe, is one of them. Al Heron might have been another one. I know Jim Egan for sure was one of them. Kyle Heron just kind of spins out of 2 into the grass. Hopefully he can hang on to it. I'm not sure if he did.
Glenn Sidman inherits the lead as the other drivers have had to take their pit stop.
Give it up for Glenn Sidman leading the lap here. That Kyle Heron was able to get going, so it's good to see that. Right now, only 2 cars lap down Mark Myers and Tony Klusterman. Klusterman's had a little bit of connection issues on tonight's race.
Yeah, I tried to take a look at Tony's car earlier, his new livery, and I was unable to get a good shot of it because his connection does seem to be pretty bad tonight.
Not what you hate to see, but as a competitor, it's a position's a position. It looks like Klusterman is either wrecked or blowing the pit because relative shows that he has stopped on the racetrack.
Yeah, he's off track a little bit, mowing the grass for Road America. He's getting back on track now. Looks like his car's in one piece, so he'll be back on his way. And into the pits, probably get a little bit of repairs.
Yeah, Fox is still in the pits right now. I'm not sure what happened to him. Might have got a little damage. He was in the pits a lap before as we crossed through. Glenn Sidman about 8 seconds on Jason Lundy in the pits. I mean, on the racetrack. Nigel Baines is the right now would take the leader if the Nigel Baines is the first car to pit, and he is in 3rd place right now. So if the other 2 pit, he will regain the lead.
And with 2/3 of this race completed, Nigel Baines, we saw him in the lead just a minute ago. I know he's itching to get a win, and it's going to be really fun to see if he can get back in victory lane in the Spotty Dog Ford Falcon.
Glenn
And I'm
Sidman
happy
and
to
Jason Lundy both pit, and that will return the lead to Nigel Baines. And Martin Calerl is right on his bumper. So 4 laps remaining. This is going to be a good fight to the end.
It is, Kane. I can't wait to see what we have in store here in the last third of this race here at Road America. Martin Carroll, we've seen him do some mighty, mighty good things in the past here in his short-lived career in the GV8 series. Will he be able to sneak another win away here at Road America?
You know, yeah, I know it's hard to, as we read these names, to try to change how we say them, but I do know that Martin prefers to be called Marty, and I've got to really try to concentrate on calling him Marty instead of Martin, but I don't know if I can do that because I'm always reading the names right off the thing. So,
Yeah, Marty's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, we'll have to remember that. Marty Carroll. And he deserves it too after what he's shown us. He definitely knows how to drive a car, and he is just one heck of a driver. He's definitely proven himself already in this league. Road America, this is going to be a really fun finish, guys. It's like I said, it's almost the same exact distance as where we were at last week when we were in New South Wales, Australia at Bathurst. And, you know, this place doesn't have quite the elevation change, but it still has a lot of excitement. And that's what we're seeing right now out of the first and second position drivers.
Nigel Baines
they
goes
are
wide.
really
Gets into the grass just a hair. Marty is able to keep it in front of Marty, but Marty does run into the bumper, knocks Nigel Wyden into the gravel, and Marty slows to, there's a way to say it. I'm sorry about that, but Nigel's
Number
too far
29.
gone to return position.
Number 29 Peak Performance, GV8 Supercar entering the pits right now. That'd be more.
Man,
Nigel Baines is too damaged, as he said through chat server.
What was the verdict, Avery? Was there too much damage?
Yep, too much. Oh, he's got a pit.
Nigel Baines has got the car going again. He does got some pretty serious damage to the front left there, but 3 laps to go. He is keeping it on the pavement, so hopefully he can finish out the race. He is losing a lot of time, so.
It's going to be real fun to see how this thing goes out after the events that have just taken place here. It is going to be a totally new story from this point forward.
Yeah, he's got the meatball flag. He's going to try to wait it out to run as long as he can. And he's going to have to make it through pit lane, or else a disqualification will happen.
Wow, that's really tough to swallow.
You know, you get 4 laps on the meatball flag to pit, and he's got 3 laps remaining. And that is going to be close, because he's going to click over to that 4th lap as he crosses the finish line.
So it's going to be really fun because our league does go off the official iRating, the iRacing results are official to the league. So whatever iRacing finishing position is what the league has to take. So he could end up getting disqualified from this race, or from the finishing position he finishes. He might have to finish in the back of the field if that does happen, right, Kane?
Yeah, well, he would get credit for the laps that he's raced, so that would put him ahead of Paul and Tony, which Paul, I don't think, actually made any laps in this race, so it put him ahead of Tony. No, Tony's still on the track as far as I can tell, so it would effectively put him in last place.
Jason Lundy off into the grass. Rod Denier almost.
So that about put him about where he wouldn't be in dead last, but it definitely would hurt him in the points championship run, Kane. And so this is a really, really gutsy move by Nigel Baines, but I really like it because I think the alternative is if he sits in that pits, he's going to finish about that low anyway. So You
Yeah.
might as well go for the gusto while you got the shot.
Well, you go through the pits and see what your damage is, and always exit out of the car, and it'll let you back on there, but you'll still have that meatball flag, so you can see what place you can get. So that's another option. Lundy in the pits right now.
But right now, guys, we're showing with 2 laps remaining. Things could get real hairy here at the end. I'm going to do a rundown of how things are currently going in just a second before the white flag
Look at
comes
this. Greg
out.
Carr has made his way up to second place. What an outstanding run by Greg Carr.
And we mentioned it in the pre-race, Kane, and we know we mentioned it earlier, he is itching to get back in victory lane big time, and we know that Greg Carr can drive just as good as anybody, and he has proven himself. He completely dominated the beginning of this season, and for him, it is showtime. It is time to show that he belongs in first place. He is the current leader in the points championship, and he is not wanting to let it slip any more further than he can grasp. I told you, if he can keep finishing in this podium positions the remainder of the season, he has got a big enough lead where no one will be able to catch him. Even a Martin Carroll that could finish first every week or somebody like that would still not catch him if he's able to finish in the podium every week.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of racing that we really, that Greg Carr's been trying to prove here in Season 2 of the GV8. He is the defending champion, and he wants to repeat.
Lundy has disconnected. Yeah, Marty is doing a good job tonight. And I wish he could have a ghost in front of me so I could figure out how to run remotely close to his speed.
So right now, as things run, it's last lap, white flag is out. Greg Carr is currently in second place with Glenn Sidman close on his tail. He's not too far away, Kane. That's going to be your podium. That's right now as they run. Of course, we've seen some crazy things happen on these last laps, Kane. We've seen complete wrecks. We've seen last turn wrecks. So let's keep our eyes peeled and see what happens. Also, remember the story with Nigel Baines with the fix-it flag he's got. He needs to get that car fixed according to iRacing, and he is ignoring, but understandably reasons. Really going to be fun to see what happens here on this final lap in Week 7 here in Gross MTV. I also want to throw out real quick, this is brought to you by GetDirtyMX.com. I want to thank them big time for being on board with us all season long. So as we wrap up the final lap, just remember it was brought to you by GetDirtyMX.com.
Right now you got a pretty good little battle with Niels Jordan and Rod Denier. Also got Glenn Sidman, Greg Carr battling real hard. Only cars out of the race are Jason Lundy and Jason Lundy.
Here it is, guys. You want to go ahead and throw out the congratulations yet?
Yeah, what a fantastic run by Marty Carroll. Great job.
2 weeks in a row, Marty Carroll. And do you remember, I have to go back real quick, Kane. Remember when we were sitting in the booth at the mountain last weekend and Marty gave me a hard time? I told him I would go ahead and pick him for this week. He did not let me down. He really pulled it off. So I'm going to have to bring that up, and I know Marty's going to want to come up here and talk to us in the booth as soon as he's able to get that celebrating out of the way. Really good job for Marty Carroll tonight.
And a great job by Greg Carr. You know, from some first lap troubles, takes him all the way back to the back, and then to come back into second place. That was some crazy good driving.
Greg Carr was the slowest in qualifying because he had a couple bad laps and got a 1:23 in, and that was slower than my lap, so you know what that would mean.
Well, yeah, that qualifying can be tricky. You know, you get a tire off, it disqualifies your lap, and you know sometimes there's just cars in your way, and things can happen, and you just can't get a good lap in. And it sounds like that may have been some of the troubles he's having, just unable to put in a decent lap.
Yeah, and if you notice, Greg, I've noticed it a lot during the race. He's had a lot of one tire offs, and that'll disqualify a lap when you're trying to qualify. So that can could have been one of the reasons with the qualifying issue as well. But as we're finishing up, guys, I'm going to
14th.
go ahead and do a final rundown of how things finished here at Road America so far. We have your winner in the 184 Ford Falcon, Martin Carroll, finishing second in the number 5. That's Greg Carr with Glenn Sidman finishing the podium in third. Nigel Baines is scored fourth right now. We'll see if that changes. Fifth, Mario Gerard. Rod Denier in sixth with Nils Jordan finishing in seventh. Chris Hogan able to finish eighth with Daniil Maninkoff finishing ninth. 10th is going to belong to Jim Egan with Peter Hebron working in 11th. Kyle Herron back in 12th with Jason Fox in 13th. Jason Lundy in 14th with Avery McDonald in 15th.
I took 14th.
16th belongs to Mark Myers with 121. Cleaning up our field is Tony Kloosterman.
Jason Lundy actually ended up 16th place because he was out of the vehicle.
Well, thanks for that update there, Avery. That is where Jason Lundy will finish then, as he was had a connection issue there at the end of the race. Unfortunate as I had a connection issue this entire broadcast. We do want to apologize about our technical difficulties at the beginning of our broadcast. This is not a typical way that we do our broadcast, but considering the way that the technical difficulties we had, it was able to get it in here and get some live footage to you guys this evening.
Yeah, I took home a 14th place finish. real happy with that. My goal was not to get last. I achieved that goal, so I was pretty happy. But big props to Marty Carroll taking the win. Great car, running an amazing race from starting in the 14th position, getting taken out on lap 1, and bringing that car back to get that runner-up position. Yeah, you can't do much better than that.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run by Greg Carr to come all the way back. And Glenn Sidman had a great run. Just nice, quiet, easy-going run like always, and right there up in the podium position.
Well, we talk about it every week, Kane, and we always seem to run over Glenn Sidman. He's just like he's always up there, and we never seem to give him quite the credit he deserves. And he is really showing that he can run up there with the big boys, and he's definitely doing that. He is one of the big boys here in the GV8s. I think he's proven that. What do you think?
Oh yeah, he's definitely running up there and on the podium week after week. So I think this is his third or fourth week, and every race he's been up there toward the pointy end of the field. So that's fantastic driving from Glenn. I'm glad to see him in the league, and I'm glad to see he's doing well.
All right, and look at this championship standings going into week number 7. Kane Kraft, thanks for bringing this up for us. I always get excited when it comes down to points. Look at your point leader with Greg Carr with 1,134 points. That is quite a lot of points at this point in the season, as we're just over the halfway mark after last week going into this week. And then he gets a second place finish tonight. That is just going to keep boosting him up, and his advantage is just going to continue to grow. Nils Jordan has done a really good job, as he is currently in the second position. And look at Mario Gerard in third, and Mario Gerard ends up with a 5th place finish tonight, so he'll get quite a heap of points tonight. And actually, with Nils finishing in 7th, their battle for second place should tighten up a little bit more. Kane, what do you think?
I think it's going to be pretty close. By the time we get the points figured out, that's going to be a pretty close battle for second place. Coming into this race, it was 22 points difference, 18 points difference. So
wow,
there very well could be 18 points difference between the two positions. I don't think so. I think there's probably going to be around 10 points difference. So we'll just have to see how it plays out.
And if Nigel Baines is able to keep that 4th place finish, Kane, which you're able to see the final results on iRacing, is it scoring him in the 4th position?
Yep, let me see. Where's he at there? Yep, 4th position.
Congratulations, he was able to pull off the risky move and finishes in fourth. And he is currently in the points going into this week, Kane. He was in fifth position, right behind Jason Lundy, just not quite 20 points down from him, not even just 12 points separated. And I think with Jason Lundy unfortunately finishing, I think 16th, or did he finish last because of the connection issue?
Lundy, Tony Klusman finishing last, and then Lundy was involved in an incident.
Okay, so the screen is correct then. So, but regardless, Jason Lundy just unfortunately didn't get quite as high as I know he can run a lot higher. He can run in the top 5 as good as anybody. And unfortunately didn't have the finish he wanted tonight. So I believe that's going to make Nigel Baines probably climb up close, if not surpass Jason Lundy going into week number 8 next week. But still, Jason Lundy doing great to be up there in the 4th place. Glenn Sidman, a guy that's missed weeks 1 and 2, Kane, and has come in here, and look at his point totals for the past few races. 128, 172, 160, and 240 last week at Bathurst. This guy is dangerous because he's consistently great. We haven't seen him in victory lane yet, but we've seen him finishing up front, close to the front every single week. And could you imagine what his score would be if he has those scores right there in weeks 1 and 2, Kane?
Yeah, he would. I would assume that he would be around the 3rd position, because that's where he routinely finishes, right there in the 3rd position. So if he would have made it at the beginning of the season, I got no doubts he would be right up there in the 3rd position.
And hopefully we'll be able to hear from a lot of the drivers as soon as they're able to get out of the cars and head up this way to talk with us soon. But look at some of the other point standings that we have. I want to shout out Tony Klusterman is another driver missed weeks 1 and 2, and he's thrown up some good point totals as well. He is in 10th.
Looking at this, I gotta say that Glenn Sidman would actually be in 2nd had he not missed those first 2 races. Of course, that don't matter, because he wasn't here for those first 2, and he's back in 6th. But we've still got half the season left, and if he continues on, I've got no doubts that he'll climb up toward the top. But that's a great way to run the points championship. Just good, consistent scores.
Yeah, that's the main thing with these V8 supercars, is running consistent. You got a lot of good guys in this series. If you don't run consistent, there's someone that's going to get up and pass you. I mean, that's how talented most of these drivers are in the series, excluding the number 29.
And it's fun to see the guys that just want to give the shout out to the Jim Egan's, the Jason Lundys, Mario Girards, Nils Jordan, Greg Carr. Guys that have been here, they have a perfect attendance record. Chris Hogan would be a part of that list. He missed week 3, but he's still, the guys that come here week after week are the guys that really help make the buildup of this league. But look at something else on this points for a second. Ignore the positions for just a moment, guys, and just take a peek at the participation level look at all those zeros at week 1 and week 2 and week 3. Now look from week 4 on. I know we had a slip up in week 5, had a short little group there, but other than that, the league is really starting to grow. I mean, we had 17 guys, I think, in the field tonight, and it's really great to see this league grow, and I think it's really starting to head in the right direction. Bathurst last week was a huge success, and I know the drivers truly enjoyed it. I really enjoyed watching it from the broadcast booth. I'm sure Kane, I speak for him as well, was saying he enjoyed himself as well. But it's really great to see the participation here in the GV8 really start to step up. It's only the 2nd season that's ever existed, and already we're growing and heading in the right direction. So that's really great to see all the drivers coming back and really putting on some good competition. I mean, we got to see in the very beginning of the season, we saw a dominant Greg Carr, and then the next thing you know, he has some serious competition. And So it's fun to see. Next week we will be at the Mazda Laguna Seca Raceway. Now, this is not the first time that the GV8 series has been to Laguna Seca. This will actually be our second visit there. I was actually not able to race at the Mazda Laguna Seca Raceway, but I believe, Kane, you did. So maybe you can tell us a little something we can look for next week as we go out west and visit Mazda Raceway, Laguna Seca.
Well, the good thing about Laguna Seca is it's a track that everybody's pretty comfortable with. It's a track that everybody's driven a time or two. So I think we'll see a lot of good close racing when we get to Mazda Laguna Seca Raceway. I think that you'll see a lot of drivers practicing. There is a couple hard sections on the track, a couple technical sections, but otherwise the track is pretty straightforward, and so I think that the racing's going to be very close there, and it's going to be a heck of a broadcast because we're going to have races, door-to-door races all over the place, because this track does lead to some good close racing.
And of course, everyone knows turn number 8, the famous, or turn 8A and turn 8, the famous corkscrew. Guys, that is just one crazy part to a racetrack. And Mazda Laguna Seca, it's definitely one of the big top features of the racetrack, along with turn number 2 there. It's those two turns right there define this place. They are very, very tough, and it's really fun when we have, like Kane just said, door-to-door racing, and they come in. Those places are where we're going to see some bad things happen, and that's where people are going to be able to also win races, and that's also where we're going to see them lose races. It's going to be really interesting next week, guys. You're not going to want to miss it when we get to Mazda Laguna Seca. It's going to be a super good time, and looks like we're starting to get a couple guys in here tonight, and the first person I really want to talk to and congratulate him is Marty Carroll. Marty, are you in here, buddy?
I'm here.
All right, Marty, congratulations. Before we say anything else, congratulations back to back. You showed us what you were worth out at Mount Panorama last week, and now here in the United States in Wisconsin at Road America, you do the exact same thing. Congratulations. Tell us how you do it, buddy. How do you do it?
Practice makes perfect. But I'd just like to begin to apologise to Nigel. We did have a little incident there going down the back straight and catch him in the rear. After he made a little bit of a mistake, it was the lightest of taps, but enough to unbalance him. And fortunately enough, he was able to come back and finish fourth. But I do apologise again, once again, Nigel, and it sort of did taint the victory a little bit, as I would have liked to. I've continued battling for those last 3 laps. But yeah, once again, Greg Carlos slipped in the second place, banking those points. Missed the consistency right there. I do like to thank a lot of the drivers for their sportsmanship as we come up on them with the back markers, and feel for Tony missing the start there. I know the feeling from back from Brazil. That's a little disheartening when you join the session and they're already 3 laps out of you. But other than that, yeah, fantastic result, and yeah, going to Laguna Seca, like you say, the corkscrew is going to bring a lot of excitement, and I do like it there. It's a favourite track of mine, and I'd like to thank you guys for putting on an excellent broadcast. It's wonderful to be part of it.
Well, Marty, before I move on any further, I do want to say, if you recall, at the conclusion of the race at Bathurst, we had our announcer picks, and I told you I went wrong and went against you at Bathurst and promised you I'd go with you this week, and you didn't let me down, bud. I'm proud of you. Good job, and a congratulations from me in that aspect. You didn't let me down.
So I told you I wouldn't let you down, and I would have liked to pick the win up a little bit cleaner, but yeah, me and Nigel had a big lead over the field, and we were sort of the class of the field there, and congratulations again to Nigel for putting it on pole, and yeah, no, I'm glad I can get you one up in the commentator's picks.
Thank you very much, Marty. I appreciate it, buddy. Kane, you got anything for our winner tonight?
No, I thought he did a fantastic job. great running. We missed about the first half of the race because the iRacing was goofing up, but I would have loved to have seen the first half of the race, and it kind of threw our broadcast off a little bit. But yeah, great job. Another win, another great race. I can't wait till Laguna Seca.
Yeah, thank you, Karen.
That is Marty Carroll, ladies and gentlemen, your winner here at Road America. Next, I'd like to talk to the guy who had an incident near the front of the race. I'm assuming we joined the race and he was in the back of the pack. We saw him, got a report from Avery early in the broadcast that he had gone to pit road, and by the time we joined, he had already started his pilgrimage back to the front of the pack and was able to finish second here today. That is the number 5 Ford Falcon of Greg Carr. Greg, we've seen you do it week after week, man. You run up near the front, and if you keep getting these podiums, you're going to make this chase for the end of these points an impossible task for the rest of these guys. Congratulations on the fantastic driving. You really pulled one out. I don't know what happened there at the beginning. Maybe you can fill us in.
Yeah, that was a little interesting. I kind of messed my qualifying up and had 3 off tracks, and with this track so long, you only get, in 10 minutes, you only get about 3 laps, so I started pretty much at the back, and my plan was get as many spots as I could off the start, so that's the easiest way to pass people is right off the start. Got through a few and then passed a few more, and then unfortunately it looked like Jim and I can't remember who else, maybe Jason, got into each other. Gained a few more there, and I think I might have been close to the top 5 coming toward lap 1, but since the field is so close together, I thought if I pit, everybody will get back ahead of me, I'll get fuel, and then when I come out, I'll have a nice clean track all to myself, and then just start turning qualifying laps. And that's what I did for the rest of the race, and it seemed to work out for me. So I'll take second. I was just hoping for a top 5, but hey, I'll take second.
Well, congratulations. Thought that was one heck of a ride to see you run all the way from the back of the pack like that.
Two weeks in a row, we've had somebody that's done that, a run clear from the back, so that's exciting.
Yeah, that was super, man. We got to see Farouk Mansar do it last week. Greg Carr's able to pull it off this week in remarkable fashion. So, once again, congratulations on the second place finish, Greg.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was a fun race. I like the track, but I don't race there too well, so kind of looking forward to Laguna Seca. I've had good races there, and really looking forward to Watkins Glen. That's my home track, and I know that one pretty well and always like racing there.
Well, we can't wait to see you run there, Greg. Thanks for talking with us, buddy, and congratulations. We can't wait to see you next week at Laguna Seca.
All right, thanks, guys. See you then.
And that is Greg Carr, the driver of the number 5, guys. We thank him for coming by. The next person I really want to talk to is Glenn Sidman, who put down another remarkable performance here at Road America here in Wisconsin today, and it's just week after week. This guy is just doing it, and he's doing it to it. I'm telling you, every week we can just expect you to just about nail a podium win, and it's just being consistent. You're very clean and very fast, and it's been paying off very nicely for you. Always seeing the true blue Ford Falcon running up front each week, and how are you able to keep it up there, Glenn?
You mean the silent stalker, right?
That's right.
Appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's nobody's more surprised than I am. That was a blast. Really enjoyed the race. Just try to stay in my own pace. Slipped and slid around a little bit tonight, but had a great race with Mario there for a while. We swapped positions for a little bit. Mr. Fox, he made a mistake coming off a corner. He basically just gave me the straightaway. I turned around next lap, made a mistake. I just basically gave him the next corner. Just this group of guys is really easy to race with. Everybody's just so clean. This is just really having a blast running with these guys. Also, too, I wanted to shout out to I forgot his name, Mr. Baines, for letting Greg and I run clean. And to be on Greg's bumper at the end there, that was pretty much a thrill. I was really pushing hard. I just about dumped it a few times, but I kept at it. And also, too, I just wanted to say hi to my family, Jacob and Angela. They're getting ready for dinner, and I appreciate them hanging out.
Yeah, we appreciate their patience too, allowing you to race while they wait to eat dinner. We appreciate them being patient and allowing us to have you for the hour or so it takes to get through one of these.
So they said as long as I eat my vegetables, I can keep participating.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Tell Jake to make sure you're eating your vegetables, and he'll probably keep letting you race as long as you do that.
Good broadcast, guys. I mean, you guys, last few broadcasts, you keep getting better and better. Really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I think this one might be a little bit of disappointment. That connection issue at the start really threw us for a loop, and I don't think we ever really got into the rhythm. But still, we got to bring it, at least the last half of the race, to you guys, and you guys definitely brought it to us. That was a great race, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Look forward to seeing you, Glenn, next week at Laguna Seca. You know him as put the silent stalker across the screen. He just comes up in quiet, man. He doesn't do it real flashy. He just sneaks up in there and attacks. I like it. And it's good to see you running up there, man.
Thanks, JD.
All right, guys, that is Glenn Sidman, driver of the True Blue Ford Falcon. Next, I would really want to talk to one of my new favorites here in the GV8. Had a little bit of an accident, and he was just running fantastic out in front for the majority of the race. And I know he was itching for a win tonight. Nigel Baines. Unfortunate events there, buddy, but you battled back and were able to leave out of here with a 4th place finish. I was worried about you for a minute because I knew you had a repair flag, and I didn't know if iRacing was going to be crazy and score you with a penalty or not, but you played it out right and got a 4th place finish out of it here at Road America. What is your side of this story?
Well, good evening, guys. JD, Kane, all the other drivers. Yeah, just one of those racing incidents. I just ran off track through the kink, missed the apex, and ran a little wide, but lost me a little speed and gave Matty the chance to really close. And anytime you do that, I guess your braking point for the next corner is a little bit off because you're not carrying the same sort of speed. And I probably played it a little too conservative. And unfortunately for Matty, it was the lightest of bumps. You know, he just brushed me in the rear there, and like he said, with it probably under hard braking enough to just unsettle the car, and it was the wall that hurt me. So I couldn't keep it out of the tires. I was trying desperately, but couldn't do it. So yep, it was a great race up until then. You know, Matty was, I think I saw up to nearly 2 seconds at one point, and by that time we were back to sort of 0.3 or 0.4. So yeah, he had some good pace, and it would have been a great finish for sure.
Well, we thought you were running a really good race, Nigel. Always good to see you. The car looked good tonight. It didn't get crunched up too bad. I thought it was just good racing from you guys, and I know that we really look forward to seeing you run next week at Laguna Seca, as you'll get another shot to go out there and try to get up there in the first place and get back in victory circle, buddy.
Yeah, we'll try. I always thought I liked Laguna Seca, but I don't seem to like racing there. I don't know what it is. But hopefully in the V8 it'll be a different story. My gut feeling is it would be a difficult track in this car, but until we get out and run some laps, well, I'm not too sure. So hopefully Road America really enjoyed the track here this week, but just had such rotten luck all week long. So glad to leave it behind. We'll press on to Laguna and hopefully some better luck next week.
Yeah, that's it. That's great, buddy. The best of luck to you. Nigel Baines, everybody.
Quickly, guys, I will say a big shout out to Matty there. I mean, he obviously raced hard up until then. We had a great race going, but he was prepared to give me that position back right there on track. And it was just a racing incident, but no hard feelings at all. Great racing, and well done to everybody, and especially Greg again, and sneaking up to 2nd place. The guy's got too many points as it is, but I think in next season we're gonna have to have a go at him because this one's pretty much done. So, but well done to everybody. Great racing again tonight. Thanks, guys.
Nigel Baines, everybody. Thanks, buddy. We always appreciate talking to you. Driver of the number 36 Mighty Dog Cakes Ford Falcon. Nigel Baines. All right, next I want to give a good shout out to my great buddy and longtime Road Shark racer Mario Gerard, who we got to see tonight do a good race. Mario, got to see you battle with Glenn Sidman for a while and some good battling back and forth there, and ended up finishing fifth, I believe. So all in all, a great race at Road America from my point of view. How about from yours?
Oh, absolutely, GD. I'm really glad to where I'm finished. I did qualify to, what, 8th position. I was expecting to be a little bit higher, but I was pleased with it. Yeah, and the start went pretty good for me. Got behind Glenn at one point. We're having fun for a few laps there. I really enjoyed tonight's race. This track, I have to say, it's really easy to make mistakes, and sometimes it doesn't be too bad. But no, on the last lap, I did mistake my braking point and had the the 360. Managed to start without touching the wall and finish in fifth position. So I'm pretty glad overall.
Well, man, we sure enjoy watching you, and glad to see you doing good. I told Kane a little earlier, I really do think you left a bad luck out there at Bathurst. You really turned the page up there, and it's shown. Your driving ever since has been really good. You've stayed out of trouble, and you've always been driving good this entire season, but it just seemed like you had a run of bad luck, and I'm glad to say I think that's officially over for good for a while. So that's really good to see, and you're really starting to show you can finish up there near the front, or near the top front. So congratulations. And I don't know how familiar you are with the Mazda Laguna Seca, but hope to good luck for you out there, buddy, next week.
Well, I guess I have the same feeling as Nigel. I don't know why, but doesn't really like that track, but we'll see. Well, thank you again, guys. Keep doing a great job.
Thank you very much. That's Mario Gerard, ladies and gentlemen, driver of the number 27 Road Shark Racing Ford Falcon. And next time we're going to talk to, we have a very interesting story. Before I get to my good buddy Jim Egan, I got to talk to Tony Kloosterman. I just want to say, great to see you in the new car today. We got to see a new paint from you today, and boy, it looked good, Tony. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Thanks, JD. Yeah, eventful week, leaving Red Bull Racing and making the decision to go back to Never Quit Racing, a team I was associated with at Targa, Newfoundland in 2005, 6, and 7, and Chris Hogan volunteered to help us out there. So some new livery this week, and excited to bring it out, but unfortunately, first race gremlins and getting to the grid or getting into pit lane 3 laps down really hurt our race, but turned some decent laps during that time, and it's looking up for next week perhaps.
All right, I'll tell you one thing, buddy. It looks great, and I'm really happy that you decided to go somewhere that you're happy with, and we really are glad to see you. I know you wanted to do better your first race back with the new team, but better luck next week at Mazda Raceway in Laguna Seca. We really look forward to seeing you run there, Tony. And for the rest of the drivers that are listening, any of you guys, really go by the forums and check out the story there. It's really cool. It's under the breaking news section of our GrossM forum there in the GV8 news section. Go read about it. It's always good to hear about our fellow drivers, and it's a great I think it's a really good thing for you, Tony. Excited that you made the move, and look forward to seeing good things out of you here in the near future, buddy.
Thank you very much, JD.
And that is our good friend Tony Kloosterman, now a member of Never Quit Racing, and I love that name. That's awesome. Next, I want to talk to Jim Egan. Jim, are you here, buddy?
I got you, JD.
All right, Jim Egan, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Egan comes into Road America. And Jim, how was your race tonight, buddy? We had some bad technical difficulties early in the race. You guys will see iRacing was really having a fit with letting us in, and we were trying to catch up so fast. It, like Kane said earlier, it really messed our rhythm up. So we got to see the second half of the race, but we don't know the full story, so I'm kind of having you guys kind of fill us in. I'd like to say I think you finished in 12th, I believe.
I think I'm scored in 10th according to the chart.
Yeah,
once you exit iRacing, but
you probably are. I actually messed up tonight, and when I got into the session, I actually joined as a racer and not a spectator, so I couldn't go back in once I exited. So I don't have the official results in front of me. But 10th place, man, you get a top 10. I'm happy with it. How did you feel with it?
Well, it could have been better. It started 7th, and coming down the hill after the Sargento Bridge into turn 5. I mean, this is like right after the start. After the bridge going into turn 5, I completely missed my braking point and ran right into the back of Jason Lundy. Somehow he wasn't damaged too much, but I had a meatball and I had to pull in. So I just put some more gas in the car and went for it after that, and just kind of see what shook out with some guys pitting, some guys having their own problems, and managed a 10th, which I'm not unhappy with, but it could have been a lot better.
And that's understandable, Jim. That's understandable. It could have been worse, but I understand it definitely could have been better. We've seen the blip shift Ford Falcon run better, that's for sure. And next week, we will be heading out west to the Mazda Raceway at Laguna Seca. Is that a Jim Egan specialty track, or is it a scary place for you?
It's not a bad track. I like it. It's got some good rhythm to it. The only thing I worry about every lap is the corkscrew, but once you get it right, that can add a lot of time. Actually, the kink before the corkscrew is really bad as well. I mean, that can make or break a lap.
Yeah, I've known it to upset you, and then it's like the kink, and then right after you go up and then hit the corkscrew. So if you miss the kink up, the corkscrew's toast. You can forget it. And it's a scary moment on that track. I know exactly what you're talking about there.
Yeah, that turn 6 kink is just it's a killer, and if you get it wrong, it just completely screws up your momentum, or you're in the kitty litter on the other side. Either way, I mean.
Man, always good to talk to you, Jim. I swear, it's always good to talk to you, buddy. Well, I hope to see you do really well next week. We're looking at the point standings, and just want to shout out to you, man. Thank you for being. I told you have the perfect attendance record. You've been here for every single race, and I know that's a really tough task, and we're really proud of our few racers that have been able to make it every single race. So congratulations on that, buddy. I really appreciate it. I know the guys do as well, and it shows in the point standings.
Oh, thanks, man. No, I'm just having a good time. This is a tough car to drive, and we've got some tough courses. But I'm getting, I feel I'm getting to know the car a little bit better, and so yeah, it's a lot of fun and a lot of good guys to race with as well.
Oh, truly, it's such a great group of racers, and I got to admit, I ran over half the season with y'all last season, and I got to admit it, this season's courses or tracks are a lot harder. This season's got a lot tougher tracks on it than our little season 1 was. So you guys got a tough task ahead of you, and that have already been through. So you give me and Kane and Avery a great show, and we sure do appreciate it, guys. Every bit of it. That goes out to all the drivers that have been with us. We really do appreciate it. And I told Kane we had 17 guys in the field tonight. We looked at the point standings, and we keep seeing the members grow, and that's just a wonderful thing. Seeing the participation grow here on Monday nights is just incredible, and I hope that we continue to see that happen. And I truly think we're headed in the right direction.
I do too. We can, every week it seems like we're seeing a new face or two, and it's all got to do with you guys. I mean, everybody that posts about the league. says that it's the group of guys that we race with. They're, everybody is just so fantastic. Every single person is a joy to race with. So those are the type of comments that everybody says about you guys. So you guys really deserve a pat on the back for what you guys do out there and how you guys treat each other.
Well, that's old Jim Egan talking with us, good buddy of ours in the Blip Shift Ford Falcon. Good luck to you, Jim. We really look forward to seeing you next week out west, buddy.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
And that is Jim Egan, driver of the number 42 Blip Shift Ford Falcon. And always good talking to Jim Kane. And it really is. He's just a good guy. But back to next week. Exciting, and oh yeah, exciting. Next week is going to be a tough task for these guys as they go into a super tough track out west. And the Laguna Seca, like we said, it's got that really tough turn at turn 2. A lot of people always talk about the corkscrew because it is a very unique characteristic of the track. But that turn 2, Kane, it is killer. A lot of guys overshoot that. They overdrive it, and it puts them right out in the sandbox. And I'm telling you, it's a desert out there. And you get out in that sand, and you're not just there for a minute. It really messes things up. So it's going to be real fun to see which guys get the practice that they're going to need to get in this week to perform well out there. I think it's going to be real fun to see who is able to do their homework and come out with a great result out west.
I agree. That's what it's going to come down to, I think, is whoever puts in the time and the practice to learn the track the best and learn those places that you can make that clean pass on. Those will be the guys that can get to the front. But it's a track that disaster can strike, so there's definitely that potential. So it is going to be an exciting race.
And as always, you can find it here live Monday night. And guys, once again, we really want to apologize about the technical difficulties that we encountered at the beginning of tonight's broadcast. That is definitely not a normal thing, and it's just a unfortunate thing. Unfortunately, technology sometimes does fail, and it got with us tonight and gave us a fuss. But we were able to bring you a little bit more than the second half of the race, so always happy to bring that to you guys. But don't forget, tomorrow night, GrosSim TV will be coming to you live here on Twitch TV, and we will be bringing you live coverage of the GTCC Week 8 coverage from grossim.us, and we'll be happy to bring that live to you. Coverage should start somewhere around 8:30 Eastern Time. If we're not there right at 8:30, look for us shortly after. And we have one crazy bit of stories for that GTCC race after the crazy events that took place last week. I really can't wait to get that bad taste out of our mouth, Kane, and get back to racing. It's really what these guys need to do is get back out on that track and do what they do best, race. And they're so good at it. And the points championship is so tight in that GTCC. We could talk about it for another hour and have another hour special on it. But a really good broadcast coming to you tomorrow night, guys. You don't want to miss it. But once again, we really want to apologize about that technical difficulty early in the broadcast. But we really got a treat, though, Kane, once we showed up, as we got a great race tonight out of our drivers here in the GV8 here at Week 7. Any final thoughts for you tonight, buddy?
No, we always get a good race out of these guys. They're always racing hard and good close racing, and they're always showing everybody good courtesy, and it just seems like good close racing. So I love to come watch these guys on Monday nights because I know that it's going to be a good race each and every Monday. So yeah, I look forward to it to next Monday. I'm already excited about Laguna Seca next week.
Yeah, I'm super excited already. I really cannot wait. And it's going to be full of action. I know we're going to see it. I just want to know, man, can Marty make it a hat trick? Can he get wins in a row? He's been a roll here lately. And it'll be really fun to see. I mean, if he can sit here and take Bathurst, turn around, get Road America, which he's already done, and then go out to California and take Mazda Raceway at Laguna Seca, I'm telling you what, it could be one crazy hat trick, Kane. That would be one heck of a way to come in here. And
Yeah,
don't
we
forget,
do got two sprints next week also.
Oh boy, so that is going to be fun. You don't get it once, folks. You're going to get it twice next Monday live right here on Gross MTV. Well, guys, I guess as we get ready to wrap things up, a couple of the storylines we have is obviously you heard tonight Tony Kluscherman left Red Bull Racing. Now he's with Never Quit Racing, and he didn't do as good as he wanted to tonight, I'm sure, but I'm glad that he made the move he thought was right, and I believe he made the right decision. Anytime you go somewhere you're happy, Kane, that's what makes the difference.
Well, the story behind his car is just tremendous. Maybe I can get some free time to talk about that next Monday and show the story of Tony and his car and the whole never quit motto and why that's so important to him. That is just such a tremendous story, and what they overcame in that Target race. So maybe I can feature that next Monday and let everybody in on Tony and his Target career and his Target race that he had done there with his son. So that'll be exciting.
Now, I am definitely excited for next week. I can't wait to hear that story, Kane. I know you're going to bring it to us in a good fashion, and I know everybody really wants to hear about it. It truly is a wonderful story, so that'll be really fun. Also, I noticed tonight that Carr was not in the normal Can-Am paint scheme. I don't know if he just decided to run a different one tonight or what.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but as he decides what he's going to do, I'm sure he'll let us know. He had the microphone tonight and he didn't mention it, so I'll leave it up to him to tell us when and what's going on there.
And of course, as soon as we find anything out, we always get to see you live here on Gross MTV. But those are just a few of the storylines alongside of Marty just doing a phenomenal job. Also, Nigel Baines wanting to get back in victory lane. He's just had, like he said, he just had a run of bad luck out here at Road America this week. He raced well. He just had a bad strain of luck. That's just only way you can look at it.
Yeah, all 3 races this weekend. He raced 2 of the races in the Americas Series, and they both ended in disaster for him. So, and then tonight's 4th place finish isn't too bad, especially considering the circumstances. But over the weekend, he definitely had a tough time. So I'm sure he's anxious to get on to another track and get Road America behind him.
Yeah, I believe you're 100% right behind that, Kane. Well, guys, it's been it's been fun, and it has been real fun. I've enjoyed it. But looks like time is about to expire on us, and my final thought for this broadcast is can't wait next week. I'm already excited. And please make sure you guys come back for some more fun next week as we are out at West at Mazda Laguna Seca. And we'll be back to the good old GV8 racing. It'll be week number 8, Kane. Already season flying by on us.
Yeah.
And for
don't
those
forget
of
to
you
tune
that
in tomorrow for the GTCC. There's definitely some stuff to discuss about the GTCC tomorrow. So tune in to get all the latest news there.
Yeah, and the website, of course, is right on your screen, but it's also what you're watching right now, hopefully. And if you can't catch us live on Twitch, we are on YouTube as well. If you can't catch it by searching for GTCC or GV8, or you can always search in Craft, and one of the great broadcasters here at Gross MTV. And you'll be able to pull up the videos under his name, and they're all there from every race this season. And you can even catch a few old ones if you like from last season when we were getting the bugs worked out, Kane.
Yeah, but I might have to go back and watch some of those myself just to see how far we've come.
Yeah, I bet it's a whole different world since those beginning days, but guys, we sure have enjoyed it here tonight. And once again, I do want to sincerely apologize about the connection issue we had at the beginning of the race. But we only lost a couple laps, and we're really glad we were able to bring the race to you tonight. And it was one heck of a run. I really enjoyed it, Kane.
I did too. It was exciting and fun, and anytime we got door-to-door racing, I'm happy.
Yeah, I am too. And well, guys, I guess we're going to leave it here. Don't forget, like Kane just said, we have one heck of a show for you tomorrow night, as we have all kind of stories boiling in the GTCC. So don't miss out. Here around 8:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. Same channel, same place. Come on and see us. In the meantime, we'll see you. This has been Gross MTV. JD Smith alongside me in the booth is my good friend Kane Kraft. We're happy to bring you the GTCC tomorrow live from
See, now you caught me off guard. Mosport, that's where it is. Live from Mosport.
Mosport.
Goodness, that took a long time to look up. Sorry, guys. We should have known that. Well,
Had it on the tip of my tongue and couldn't get it out. Thanks again, guys. Y'all have a great night.